What's going on, everybody? Rob A here, and today we're taking a look at Transformers Siege Voyager Megatron. So you can see the leader of the Decepticons from the War for Cybertron Siege line. As you may or may not know, I picked up Optimus Prime at Hasbro Toy Shop recently. They did not have Megatron available, so it was nice to walk into my local Walmart and actually see him on the shelf for purchase. So purchase him I did. We can check out the side of the box. We have some nice artwork here of Megatron stomping on things. It looks like maybe he's stomping on roller. I can't tell. But on the other side, there is the usual image of the flight of the Ark from Cybertron, so that's neat. And on the back you can see he's got all of his weapons. His ridiculous sword, his even more ridiculous cannon, his tank mode, which transforms in 17 steps, which seems pretty quick for this size figure, or scale class as it were. And yeah, I'm just really excited. Optimus Prime has quickly become one of my favorite Transformer toys of recent memory, and so it'll be interesting to see how Megatron actually stacks up. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get this guy open, and we're going to check him out right now. Alright guys, so here we have Voyager Megatron in his vehicle mode, and it's coming untabbed a little bit here, but yeah, it's a pretty fair-sized vehicle mode, and that's pretty much what sold me on the figure to begin with. Originally I was like, I don't know, but Optimus Prime being an amazing figure, and seeing pictures of this guy next to Prime's vehicle mode, which I'll show you right now. So here's Prime's vehicle mode, and here's Megatron's vehicle mode. You can see Megatron is just ginormous. In comparison, I was like, yeah, I think I'll pick that up after all. So, you know, that's how we ended up where we are. So there you go, vehicle mode. And another quick comparison, here he is with Hound's vehicle mode. So you can see Megatron is a very imposing sized figure, so that's cool. He does roll. He's got little wheels underneath his treads. You can see his face all smushed up underneath there. And some of the nice paintwork on his chest as well. Really nice paintwork on this figure. Again, we've got some nice kind of metallic chocolate almost. I'm not even sure what color this would be, but really nice reds and silvers all along the barrel of his cannon here. And then, of course, he's got his fusion cannon just kind of tucked away in the back here. We do get more of the kind of scratches and just weathering effects all around, so that's pretty neat. A little bit of yellow in the front. The turret of the cannon does rotate. You can get all the way around with that as well. It doesn't go up or down though, which is kind of a bummer. Actually, you can sort of get that effect though. So if you take this gun out, which is attached to the swords, which is kind of obnoxious, and then kind of separate this whole section, swing that around and bring this back around, you get a much lighter, much shorter cannon, much stubbier cannon, but you can raise it a little bit, maybe even more. No, not really, but you can raise it and lower it just a smidge, so probably not worth doing in the grand scheme of things, to be honest with you. But yeah, as you saw there, the transformation does work by leaving his cannon attached to his arms, and it is removable. You can remove the cannon from his arms completely. It comes separated in the package, and it's just a 5mm peg that holds it on. Come on, these are just not wanting to stay up though. But the transformation has it left on the robot in vehicle mode, so that's pretty cool the way they integrated that, I feel, as well. So you just attach that, and there you go. He's got his big, very similar to what's his name, Bludgeon, how the sword kind of stores, but at the same time not really. It is a little bit strange though, just kind of sticks out of the back there. And as you can see, he is just basically an H-tank. He's just got, not his arms here, but just the treads that could be his arms just kind of sticking out here, and then his legs obviously just become treads sticking out the back. So, take that as you will. And you can just see his feet just straight up chilling out on the back of his vehicle mode here. A little strange. They do have little vents underneath to kind of simulate, oh, maybe it's, you know, some kind of thrust device. But, yeah. So anyway, that's it for vehicle mode. Let's take a look at his robot mode. Alright, so to transform Megatron into robot mode, first thing we want to do is, as you saw before, we're going to remove the gun sword cannon thing from his vehicle mode. And you can swing these up and turn it into a gun if you want to, or just leave it aside for now. The gun is compatible with the effects parts from the weaponizers, or at least it's meant to be. I'm just having a little hard time here. There you go. It's having a little hard time getting a grip, at least in a normal angle there, but there is a 5mm port inside. You do also get, if we turn this guy into a sword here, and there are little tabs here on the sides that will kind of just poke into the sides of the gun that kind of hold it all in place, and it does make kind of a cool sword. It's like a gun blade kind of looking thing, and it is compatible with the swooshing effects. So you do get that going on as well. You can put those in there and have the sword swooshing, but anyway, we're going to put this off to the side for now. And so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and transform his legs. What we want to do with that is we're going to go ahead and just push in like that, and that's going to pop this off of this little tab here. Do it on the other side as well. There you go. We're going to pull these sections out just like that, and then we're going to rotate the leg out like this and then out like this. And then you can fold that back up, and that's going to become one leg, and we can just swivel that right around, and then do the same on this side. Bring it out to the side, and then bring it down, and then swivel that right around, flip that up, and that is the other leg. Let's go ahead and do his feet. We're just going to flip out his heels. Make sure his feet are straight, and then those heels get flipped out. Next thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and pull these sections out a little bit so we can flip this panel up and over. And then we're going to go ahead and bring this whole section up. It's just going to come out just like this, and then we can move these sections out. Bring these wheel sections in, and you can see the slot here and the tab right here. They're going to tab together, and it requires a little bit of force, at least on mine. These joints are very tight to flip this over, but you can get it done. There you go. So once you've got his backpack complete, you can pretty much just swing it around on his back. There we go. And then it will, it kind of has some tabs here and some slots here, so you just kind of plop it in like that. There you go. There's his backpack. We're going to go ahead and rotate his waist around. Bring all that stuff forward. Then just lock in his shoulders like so. Swivel the cannon down. And then these pieces already fell down during transformation, but they just rotate down to kind of give the, what is it? I think it's the hammer on his G1 mode that turns into these little shoulder doodads. So that's just going to go off to the side like that. And then you can flip out his fists. And there you have Megatron in robot mode. Now, as with his sword weapon, he is compatible with the blast effect parts in his regular arm cannon as well. It looks a little bit silly, like, I don't know. It looks like it's just pooping out a Christmas light a little bit, but you know, you can have that there. There is an attachment point here as well, so you can attach other weapons on top of it if that's your wish. And of course, you can remove this if you choose, and you can stick it in his hand if you really wanted to. Maybe, yeah, there we go. So if you really wanted to, you can stick it in his hand. You can put it on his shoulder if that's more your liking. Or, he even has 5mm ports up here, so you can even pop it on his shoulder like that, which is admittedly kind of cool, but it's a little bit more Perceptor looking than Megatron. But it's meant to just plug in right there, and it fits in very nice and snug. But here we can see even more of that nice paintwork. We have a nice Decepticon logo here. We've got some nice blues and yellows, a little bit of red peeking out here and there. Give you a close-up of the face sculpt. Face sculpt's cool. He is a very chunky boy, that's for sure. He's very wide-chested. He's very square all around. He just looks kind of like a brick, like that. But he does have some articulation. Head goes up and down a little bit of wiggles. It is definitely on a ball joint because you can actually turn his head around and see the ball joint connection right back there. So you got that going on. His head lifts up on this little panel, and it's weird because there's this little thing right there that I don't really know why. I don't get why that's even there. There's no locking point for the head, which is kind of annoying. It'd be really nice if there was even a soft locking point for his head in there, but no such luck. And even weirdly, it looks like maybe there was meant to be just by the way this was molded. So I don't really know what's going on with that. Arms do go out to the side. They can rotate all the way around. He does have a bicep swivel, or an elbow swivel, I guess, and he does have a nice elbow joint. You get 90 degrees exactly. Wrists can go in and out, but there is no wrist swivel, unfortunately. I think that's really, really annoying, especially for characters that come with swords to not have a wrist swivel. Very, very, very annoying. Does have a waist swivel, though. Legs can go out all the way to the front, decently to the back, even more if you lift that backpack up a little bit, but that dislodges his head. Out to the side, no problem. And then he does have a thigh swivel and a pretty decent knee bend as well. Feet, once they are Megatron feet and not little tank things, they are pretty much locked forward and back, but you do get a tilt if you unclip the feet from the sides of the leg here. Let's talk about this other weapon here. He does have the sword, as mentioned before. It can go in his hand. He cannot turn his wrist, though. He can turn his forearm. Let's just see that little gap right there. Or, and I think I kind of prefer this maybe a little bit. You can stick it on his forearm like this, and then you can even just have the whole shebang swing back when not in use, and then he's got this kind of big, huge, crazy shoulder, elbow, arm, gun, sword thing. So that's a thing. Size comparisons. Let's do that while my brain is still functioning at like 20% power. So here he is with Optimus Prime. He is, I'd say they're just about the same height, but Megatron is definitely, you can tell, a lot bulkier than Prime. Here is Megatron with one of the deluxes, in this case Sideswipe, so quite a bit bigger than Sideswipe. He looks like he could just break him in half. Yeah, so overall, what do I think about Voyager Megatron here? Honestly, after Optimus Prime, he's a little bit of a letdown. He almost feels, and forgive me, but he honestly almost feels as though he was made for a previous toy line. Like I could totally see this as a Titan Master figure, or the Titan's Return figure rather, and maybe this whole head gimmick is popped in here just because they were going to have, you know, originally a different head pop on or whatever. Just the engineering of the figure, the feeling of kind of the overall quality of the figure just is not on par with Optimus or even Sideswipe or Hound or any of the other figures that I've had from this toy line. So overall, I mean, he's not a bad figure. There's just nothing really... There's nothing really exciting or interesting or special about him. It's just like another Megatron on the pile, and it's, I don't know. There's just something that doesn't feel quite right about this Megatron. He looks cool. Transformation is super easy. I mean, that's the other thing. He barely transforms. And for a Voyager class figure of a very well-known character like Megatron, I just wanted a little bit more. So I don't hate it, but I certainly am not in love with it. That's, I guess, my final thoughts. So that's going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It really does help me out. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more. I'll be back with more Transformers real soon, so stick around for that. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.